following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona. Brother Mike is back on the radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. Today's Bible study, Covid-19. China 2. America 1. Please call somebody and tell them the radio program's on. This one you've got to hear. The coronavirus gone wild. But here's what's really behind it. This is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center in Central Phoenix. We're on 50th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road. On the website, HardcoreChristianity.com, you have all of our ministry services. We've not closed down our services during the coronavirus hoax. They're still open Thursday nights and Friday nights at 7 p.m. Teaching, preaching, healing, and deliverance at every service. You can catch all of our other ministry services off the website, HardcoreChristianity.com. You can sign up for a free seminar. You can check our radio archives. You can send us another donation using the PayPal button. We now also have a app you can download on your phone. You can check your real estate situation out with Sister Karen. She'll be happy to list your house for sale. She's on the homepage of the website. And the teaching button on the website has all of our specialized teachings, those you don't want to miss. We also have our deliverance training course. All that stuff you'll find that on the website. Welcome to COVID-19. Hell has come to breakfast. This thing's a setup, folks. It's a plot. It's a plan. I'm telling you, and it's working to perfection. For who? China, the real number one superpower in the world. Folks, in Matthew 24 and Luke 13, Jesus himself went over the specifics of Armageddon, the second coming, and the hell that is coming, not just to America, but also the entire planet Earth. If you read through the Old Testament and the New Testament, you will not find America mentioned at all anywhere. And what's interesting, in Revelation chapter 12, the Antichrist takes over and moves on Israel. He moves into Israel and tries to stop it and take it over and murder every citizen in the entire country. He commits the abomination of desolation, and Israel has to evacuate in Revelation chapter 12. They probably evacuate to Jordan or Syria or something like that. That I don't know, but they're leaving the country because there's no one there to save them. There's nobody there, folks. There's nobody there to save them. Guess what? America has been the number one supporter of Israel. Financially, politically, militarily. And guess what happens? America is not around during the tribulation to save Israel. What happened to America? Let's take another look at that. Do you want to? Well, guess what? Covid-19 was created in a lab in Wuhan, China, a few miles outside of Wuhan, and it was released on their own people. China wants to be the number one superpower in the world, and they already are. Here's how they did it. They didn't come attack America with a bunch of bombs and weapons and soldiers. Oh, come on, they're not that stupid. Chinese people are smart, son. They mingled in among us, and they took over. They saw that capitalism, the free enterprise system, cannot be surpassed or beaten anywhere in the world. They're communists over there. They do not believe in God. They're atheists. They hate Christianity and religion. They have Muslim concentration camps over there. They burn down Christian churches left and right over there. They are rewriting the Bible in China, putting in Chinese characters for the biblical characters. It's absolutely unbelievable. China hates God and hates religion and hates morality. They're communists. Hello? That's communism. Communism hates God and they hate us. So they just simply bought us. What happened? Well, many years ago, the Chinese elites said, hey, we can smash America, but we can't get them from the outside. They're too powerful. Nobody can take them militarily, but we can take them internally. We can cause them to implode. We can destroy them from the inside out. What we'll do is we'll take advantage of capitalism and free enterprise. There's a component connected to both those things. Guess what it is? Greed. That's correct. So the Chinese simply came over here. They bought off our politicians. They bought off our business executives. They bought off the elite criminals on Wall Street who own all the money in the world and run everything in the world. They simply bought them off. They took over. They hit Walmart first. They met a guy named Sam Walton, who was the Albert Einstein of retail. They saw this guy was a literal genius, but they said, hey, I tell you what we'll do. We're not going to compete with this guy. We're just going to outsmart him. I'll tell you what, we'll manufacture every piece of cheap piece of garbage and crap every American wants to buy. We'll give it to you for less than half the price of what it would cost you to buy American. Sam Walton started out with an old policy years ago called Buy American. We abandoned that quickly. So the Chinese simply took over, using our greed of capitalism and our freedom of speech and freedom of religion and freedom of free enterprise. They used it against us. And the Bushes and the Clintons and the Obamas and the Carters and all these criminals in Washington, they all sat there and watched it happen. Well, guess what happened? A miracle happened that not even the Chinese saw coming. Donald Trump got elected president. And Trump sat there and said, hey, to himself, hey, there's a $700 or $800 billion annual trade deficit with China. They're ripping us off. They've taken over the country. They're the number one purchaser of real estate in America, residential and commercial. They bought all of our major buildings in the country, most of them on the east and the west coast. They own the Lloyd's of London building. They own the One Chase Manhattan Plaza. They own the Waldorf Astoria. They own the General Motors building. Hey, these guys are taking over the country. We've given them an $800 billion trade surplus. They've built giant cities all over China that nobody even lives in, that we paid for. And Trump's saying, hey, this is nuts. We got to stop this. So he goes to China and he says, hey, I want a fair trade deal. China then tells Trump to shove his trade deal right up a spot where the sun doesn't shine. Well, Trump, due to his nature, he's PO'd, he's steamed. So he starts a gigantic trade war. He starts putting huge tariffs on Chinese crap coming over from China. The method is so effective that Chinese government is seeing their country, the elites are seeing their country slide into a recession. It slides into a recession. So the Chinese simply say, hey, we're going to teach this country and Donald Trump a lesson. What we're going to do is release this virus, the coronavirus. We're going to release it on our people in a limited number because we're communists and we can control a virus by simply cutting off entire cities if we need to. So they let this virus go among their own people. They don't care about their own people. They're communists. You don't get it, do you? People are not people in communism. They're animals. They're not created in likeness and image of God. Are you crazy? They're just another form of animal. After the virus got loose in China, they started to ship the people to America. They were flying over here left and right. Well, Trump caught it. So he stops the flights coming in from China. But what Trump didn't catch was all the flights going to all the other countries. So the Chinese people infected with the virus start traveling to Japan, Italy, all across Europe, Australia, and all of a sudden this virus starts breaking out everywhere, and nobody can stop it. The Chinese are doing it deliberately. Why? They knew the virus would spread rapidly in America because of free enterprise and capitalism. They know we would be attacked from one end of the country to the other, and they knew it would destroy our economy because capitalism and free markets are based on free people. They knew the virus would spread here, but they had to get it into the country. So the Trump administration and the federal government did not restrict air travel from Italy, for example, where the virus was exploding, or from Japan, where the virus was exploding. They stopped it from coming in from China, but not from the other countries. Now we've got it. And you can see easily now how the Antichrist will take over. Can't you see it? It couldn't be any clearer. Global communication, global panic and anxiety has spread this virus. It's a plague now because people are afraid, because they don't understand it. The Chinese people knew it would destroy our economy. They wanted us to take this beating because we were winning the trade war. We were forcing them to sign fair trade treaties, which they were not going to do. Why? Because their goal is to be the number one superpower in the world, and they in fact are. They've got over half the planet and over half the countries in the entire world dependent on their manufacturing. Apple computers, for example, most of their parts for all their iPhones come from China. Car parts, almost all of our car parts come from China. Our retail items, all the crap you buy at Walmart, almost all of it comes from China. What's happening here? We are seeing how the Antichrist is going to take over. He communicates through the internet. He controls people in other countries without having to be there. He uses fear of germ warfare, to destroy people's lives. Friends, if you still need prayer and you haven't rededicated your life to Christ, you've got to be warned by this Covid-19 fiasco. This is a virus that was sent to us to teach us a lesson, to teach us that we are not the number one superpower anymore. China owns us. They own our people, our cities, our real estate. They own everything, but they don't yet own your soul.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.